Batman versus the Incredible Hulk, DC and Marvel present from 1981. This came out about 5 years after their first crossover. The first DC Marvel crossover was Spider-Man and Superman. And so does it live up to expectations? I'd say so pretty much overall. The main characters that it focuses on is Batman, the Incredible Hulk, of course, and then the villain from DC is the Joker. And the Shaper of Worlds is the Marvel villain that they use. So let's get into the plot. This is a long-ass story. It's like 60-something pages front and back. So I can't go over every little detail, but let's just give a general synopsis. It starts off with Bruce Banner is working under a pseudonym at Wayne Tech under the Gamma Radiation Division. And they're working on this gamma radiation gun, and he's hoping to get a cure out of it. And the Joker ends up busting in out of there to steal it. And we don't necessarily know his motives at first. Soon after, Batman shows up, and we get our first fight. Well, basically, Joker talks the dumb Hulk. You know how he gets really stupid when he's the Hulk and he becomes a meathead. And he's like, hey, I got green hair. We both got green hair. We're both outcasts of society. So beat up the pointy-headed guy, which is Batman. And we get their first fight. And Batman basically hurdles the Hulk. And then the Hulk ends up bear hugging him. Actually, this is some artwork from it. He gets him into this bear hug, and the Joker's really into it. And he basically almost snaps his spine before Batman's able to punch him in the head and get loose. And then what ends up happening is Batman uses his gadgets because he has no superpowers. He ends up using smoke bombs, and the Hulk ends up holding his breath and passing out. And while all this is happening, Joker obviously and his gang load up the gamma radiation gun and head out the back window on the rooftops and down into the alley. And by that time he's gone, and Batman realizes he's gone. And so then it picks up where as soon as Hulk wakes up, he's back to Bruce Banner, and Bruce Wayne shows up, and Bruce Banner doesn't even know that Bruce Wayne is Batman, and then Bruce Wayne offers him a job out on a research boat out in the middle of nowhere on the Gamma to rebuild the Gamma gun. And he was working a low-level job. He was only basically moving the equipment around because he was hiding his identity, because he was a wanted criminal, of course. And so then Batman ends up beating up goons as filler just to look for the Joker, and then the Joker ends up bringing back the Gamma gun to the Shaper of the Worlds, and he's losing his own power, so he wants to use that to jumpstart his power to. I don't quite know what his power. I've never read a Shaper of the Worlds comics before. He debuted in Incredible Hulk comic in 1972. Basically, he has a bunch of physical power, and he was created by scientists in the Andromeda Galaxy, distant from ours. And he's able to create dream-like illusions and that's why they call it the Shaper of Worlds, where he'll create a whole world. Except for he can't create a world, he'll bend it in illusion type of manner. Anyway, So Joker ends up bat signaling the Batman, and he's like, hey, I know what's going on. The Shape of the World's kind of screwing me. He's basically he's like, you gotta get the Hulk. And he's like, alright, I'll team up with you for a little while. Just give me tips, Joker. So basically, Joker's just trying to get the Hulk and Batman back to the Shaper of the World so he could deal with them, because that's what the Shaper of the World wants, is to zap like his gamma radiation from him or something. And so they end up going back there, and there's a whole illusion of gangs. There's like the leader, there's like Two-Face. It's all like basically a hologram that they're fighting the Hulk. And they have round two. Basically, Batman and the Hulk have round two in the alleyway, and he ends up tearing down a bunch of buildings in Gotham. And one ends up crumbling on Batman, and that's before they go to the Shaper of the World for the ending. So then they're out there, and the Shaper of the World got what he wanted, and then he gives Joker some power, and Joker just basically creates an amusement park out of Gotham, and it's pretty silly, stupid kind of ending. Until Joker kind of like has an overload from using the power, and he collapses into the Hulk's arms, and he ends up getting committed, and the Shaper of the World just launches off into space. And then Bruce Banner and Jim Gordon and Bruce Wayne, or Batman actually, are at the asylum, like looking at Joker. He's kind of like in this state where he's laughing hysterically. And then Bruce Banner, knowing that he's a wanted criminal, slips out the back door. And Batman lets him, of course. But it was pretty interesting how they mingled the characters, and Joker has a few good lines. He has a few stupid Joker lines like, I don't know fear, I am the personification of fear, and stupid shit like that. Overall, B. Pretty decent comic. This was JB from Villain News. I'm out.